Hello, my name is Dolores Hirschmann and welcome to mastersinclarity.com webinar on landing your TEDx talk. Today, we're going to talk about you, the change maker, and we're going to talk about how do we clarify our ideas and land our TEDx stage. But before we start, I want to see who is joining us. So please, my team is going to support me in the chat room and will help me manage everybody's questions and everybody's comments. But before we start, I want to see who's there and where are you logging in from. So I have Jessica, who's part of my team, who's saying good afternoon to everybody. Tell me, where are you calling from? I see that there's 15 people and 20 people. Tell me where you're calling from. Hello. Hello, Thomas. Thomas, Alisa, Mel from Framingham. Good morning. Well, good afternoon, Mel. We have Toyin from Southern California. Welcome. Johannes from Boston. Alisa from Victoria, Canada. Welcome. Robbie from Boston. Welcome, everybody, this afternoon, this April sunny day. You can tell through my window. Welcome to your time to clarify your idea worth sharing. Today we're going to take time to learn the strategies I use to help my clients land TEDx stages around the world. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to share my screen and start the presentation. So here's our agenda for today. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about me and how I arrived to where I am, what I'm doing today. I will then jump right into, hold on. Can everybody see the slides? Great. So then I'm going to jump right into what you are looking to learn, which is strategies to clarify your idea and land your TEDx stage. As promised in the invitation, I will also give you a chance to ask any question you might have. There's an extra gift I'm going to give you today, and is an Excel spreadsheet, a PDF with an Excel with all the open events that you can apply to speak today. My team is going to put that link on the chat as we wrap up the webinar later today. So let's get started. As I said when I introduced myself, my name is Dolores Hirschmann, and many of you might already be wondering where is my accent from. I'm originally from Buenos Aires, and I've been here in the US in Massachusetts for the last 20 years. Together with my husband, and that was my phone ringing, we have 4 children, ages 10 to 16. I have spent all my life living at the edge of my comfort zone. Actually, as I was preparing for this presentation, I wanted to share a picture that showed a bit of my spirit. That picture that you see there was taken in 1996 in Sabah, in Insular Malaysia, where I spent 3 months doing community work, living in the jungle, literally in a hammock between 2 trees. I left my cozy home in Argentina to explore my own mental and physical boundaries. And trust me, I found them. And I quickly stretched beyond them. You see, much as I don't like discomfort any more than you do, I cherish the growth that happens when I challenge myself, when I move beyond what I think is possible. It's this mindset that in 2012, when looking to engage my community in a conversation of hope and possibility, I posed myself the following question: how could I bring the TED Talk experience to our community? As a TED Talk fan, which I'm sure many of you are in this webinar right now. By the way, type me if you're a TED Talk fan, and if you have a favorite talk, just type it in the chat. Go ahead. I'm able to pull up the chat as I'm presenting so I can see what talks are your favorite. But as I was fascinated by the impact TED speakers would have on me in such a short period of time. By the way, if you did not know this, TED Talks are never longer than 18 minutes. That's Jessica, that's one fact we should record on the chat. So with a team of volunteers, we secured a license to host the first TEDx event in our community in 2012. It was a small event, but it was life-changing for me. Putting together this event led me to further explore and get involved with the TED conference and the TED organization. Since then, I've participated in multiple TED conferences and I've attended TEDx workshops. And today, I lead and curate one of the largest TEDx events between Boston and Providence, with over 1,000 people in attendance. So it's this attitude that has always led me to see consistent growth and continuous growth. I've started and pitched over 5 companies. I've gone back to school to study coaching, and I coach over 50 speakers on the TED speaking format alone in the last 12 months. I've written 2 books. I've organized, as I said, 3 TEDx events, and the last 2 with over 1,000 people in attendance. I've attended 3 official TED conferences in different parts of the world, and I've worked with over 100 businesses on taking their ideas from dreams to successful growing companies. But more important, I've also been an incubator and mentor across the world and have become a judge for Startup Weekend. Now, it's actually in the work as a mentor and judge and curator that I truly connected with what I'm passionate about. I truly connected with the concept of ideas. I'm passionate about creating, clarifying, strategizing, and manifesting, making reality, ideas that have a positive impact in the world. I've even come with a term that I think it applies to all of you in this room today, and it's a term ideapreneur. Ideapreneur is an entrepreneur that is not just committing to a project or a business. It's actually committing to an idea, a philosophy, a way of changing the world. And while the how might change over time, the spirit never does. They commit to their ideas 100%. These ideas have hunted them down in some ways until they finally said yes and they rolled up their sleeves. Now, it's in this work of curator and mentor and judge where I also learned that the challenge many ideapreneurs have when looking to communicate their ideas. I recently was a judge for a startup weekend here in Massachusetts. During this final pitch contest at the end, where the teams present their ideas and their business plan, I came to realize that in many situations like this, the winner is not necessarily the best idea, but the team that can better communicate their idea. And that day was no different. The winner had a good idea, but was not the best idea. There were 1 or 2 other ideas that had the potential to have a higher positive impact in our lives, but those ideas did not win. They did not go to a second round, nor did they get the funding they needed. They were not communicated clearly. So it's in this work, I see this all the time in the curating process. When we're choosing TEDx speakers for my event, with over 200 applications for our 16 slots, we, the volunteer curating team, need to move quickly through the candidates, and many times they're speakers that I can sense they have a good idea. I can see that they're working in something really interesting, but their application doesn't really clearly state or communicate their thoughts. Even when we select them for a first round of interviews, and Jessica, here's another tip I want you to record on the chat. If you ever apply for a TEDx, in our interviews, we always ask the prospect speaker to tell us their idea worth sharing in 1 sentence or 6 words. When I ask this question, I typically get a very uncomfortable pause before the prospect can actually organize their thoughts and try to state their idea in a clear and concise way. You see, it takes a lot of clarity to be brief, to the point, and succinct. So it's because of this that I'm here today talking about clarity. I'm in a quest to help ideapreneurs get the resources and the platform and the momentum they need to have their idea impact the world. I'm actually taking a stand for you, the change maker. I believe that every idea deserves a platform. Every idea deserves the opportunity to share it with the world and create an impact. That's why I help ideapreneurs clarify, craft, and pitch their ideas worth sharing. So for this, I have created a program that holds the ideapreneur's hand and leads them through the process of clarifying, crafting, and pitching their ideas. This program works. Take, for example, Dr. O'Keefe. Dr. O'Keefe, who's a well-established cardiologist, he's been ranked top doctor for 10 consecutive years, and he's also a seasoned TEDx speaker. He actually spoke at a TEDx event many years ago, and his talk back then has been viewed by over 400,000 viewers. Now, you might say he probably did not need my help. Well, Dr. O'Keefe came to me because he had a new idea he wanted to share with the world. It was aligned with his professional background, but it's an idea that is very close to his heart and that has the potential to open a conversation in a topic that is very critical in the world we live today. Together, we designed a pitch that will allow him to present his idea to potential events. Within a few months of working together, he not only is super clear about his idea, but he has since landed and delivered his TEDx talk. And in only 3.5 months since his talk went live, his talk has been viewed by over 700,000 viewers around the world. And everybody's talking about his idea. Now, take the example of Kim Fuller. Kim was selected as a TEDx speaker with a vague idea of what she wanted to bring to the stage, but not sure how to prepare for it, how to organize her thoughts and craft her talk. Within a few weeks of working together, Kim not only was able to craft her talk, she also experienced a stronger connection with passions and beliefs she had forgotten she had, and was able to deliver a powerful TEDx talk with a standing ovation. She actually said that after going through the process of clarifying her idea worth sharing and sharing it her talk, she realized how much that process in itself, independent of the stage, was critical to the growth of her business, and that she said every entrepreneur should write their TED Talk whether they will ever deliver it or not. So that's a challenge for all of you. So you must be thinking, what's the secret? Well, let's get right onto it. I promise I will deliver 5 steps to get you closer to your TEDx stage. So let's start with step number 1. Strategy number 1, clarify your idea worth sharing. I think I've mentioned the word clarity a few times already. As I mentioned earlier, clarity in your idea is key to moving your message forward. One exercise I take my clients through is to help them pose the question they're looking to answer. I call it the question worth asking. Let me give you an example. Many of you are familiar with Simon Sinek's TEDx talk. And by the way, Jessica, please post Simon's talk on the chat so we can all have access to it. In his talk, Simon is looking to answer the following question. What is the fastest way to improve the success of individuals and corporations? He answered with the idea behind his talk, which is to encourage leaders to start with why so that they can inspire others. So let's take a stab at it. What is your question worth asking? Write it on the chat. I want to hear it from you right now. So, Robbie, you said my idea is stop wasting time networking. Instead, build effective and inclusive relationships. Let me ask you this, Robbie. What is the question? Is the question that you're trying to answer around the concept of why are we not connecting efficiently? Go ahead, post the questions behind your ideas. Why do women go through menopause? No, I don't know that we have an answer to it, or how do we solve that problem? Jean, I would love to talk to you after this call. Who else? Who else has a question that they're trying to answer? Go ahead. I'll give you 1 more second before I move on with the presentation. Why does success elude so many people and who try so hard? That is a very good question, Mel. And I would be curious to say how you state your 2 actions so that outcome. And Jessica, please set that framework on the chat. 2 actions so that outcome, which is the way you can successfully post your idea worth sharing. Johannes, why executives must think like music artists. I love that. I love that. So clarity is strategy number 1. Let's move on to strategy number 2. Now, someone once said, what if my idea is not unique, is not brand new? Well, let me tell you this. Everybody asks that question. And what I say is the first question I ask is always, is your idea unique? And why are you uniquely positioned to speak about this topic? what stories and experiences bring this idea to life. You know, in this moment, in this part of the application is always not about making sure your idea is new, because chances are your idea will not be new, but your perspective on how to handle that topic is unique because it's unique to you. So don't be afraid to test your idea with friends and colleagues, especially if you are in a coach, consultant, or other type of service entrepreneur. Make sure that your idea is posed in a unique way. As I tell my clients always, there are almost no new ideas out there, but your unique perspective and the way you present it is new. So don't be shy, be bold, stand out. Let the organizers know why you are the one to talk about this. Let me also remind you that having a great story does not mean you have a great TEDx talk. Stories are secondary characters of your talk. And I think this is going to come up as we go into Q&A, because that's always something that I want to talk about more as we go into more the conversation part of our presentation. So let's move on to strategy number 3. And now we're going to shift strategy from focusing on your idea to focusing on the strategy on the application process. So strategy number 3 is look local. TEDx events are a license granted by TED that allows independent organizers like me from different communities to bring a TED-like experience to their community. These events are organized by volunteers to enrich the places, cities, and towns they live. So if you're active in your community, approach organizers and events there first. They are looking to bring to the stage the voices that are making an impact right there in their backyard. Jessica, please write this question on the chat, because I'm going to answer it later. And it's about, does that mean that you should not apply to another TEDx that is outside of your community? I'm going to touch on that point later during the Q&A. So let's go on to strategy number 4. Do your research. Do your research and align with the theme. While not all TEDx events are created equal, before applying to speak, make sure you're clear on the theme the organizers have chosen. Don't force it, but align your idea with the theme. So in a way that is authentic, and if you truly believe there's a match. Now, not every event has a theme, but many do. Also, if you have a message that is specially geared to a particular audience, like youth, women, corporate environment, look for events like TEDx Youth or TEDx Women. So let's move on to strategy number 5. Commit. What does this mean? You have to fall in love with your idea. Your clarity is part of the process. Committing to roll up your sleeves, to stretch beyond your comfort zone in service of your idea is what will take you the distance. In some ways, curators can smell if someone is looking to stand on a TEDx stage for the prestige and recognition for themselves, or because they're in service of their idea. There was someone who registered for the webinar today. His name is Nick, and he filled out the survey. One of the questions in the survey was, how do you think a TEDx stage is going to help you? And his answer was right on. He said, well, it's not about me. Yes, of course, a TEDx stage will help you move your message forward, but it is true that our ideas chose us to be their spokesperson. So when you stand on a stage, you're looking to be the messenger of an idea that is bigger than you. So the moment you stand on the stage, it's no longer about you, it's about servicing your idea with sharing. But let me tell you a little bit about commitment. I have a client who we worked with, we worked together last year, and we clarified her idea, and we began the process of applying to speak. Well, as I always say, we need to kiss a few frogs before we get our prince. And she went ahead and applied to multiple events, and she got a few rejections, to the point that she once eventually sent me an email, and she said, I think they made a mistake. And it was an email that was inviting her to speak at an event. She had kind of given up on speaking because she had gotten some rejection, but she kept on moving forward because her commitment was there. And so she indeed was selected, and she actually was on a stage this past Saturday, and she and I were talking yesterday, and she was telling me all about the weekend and how great it was. But she also said that on Thursday night, when she was at the airport with her husband flying to her destination, there was a big storm and her flight was canceled. Well, her commitment was such that she and her husband drove through the night to make it to Ohio by Friday morning where rehearsal happened. So that's how committed she was to being on the stage and delivering her message. So again, I think that this is, I want to stress this because the secret to landing your TEDx stage is exactly what this client did, is committing, is expecting great results no matter what you see in front of you. And Jessica, you're going to smile at that. So the world can't wait. Your idea is bigger than everything else that is stopping you. Your fears, you're staying in your comfort zone, you're procrastinating. So let's review. Let's see what we just covered. When I sent you an invitation to join me today, I promised I would deliver 5 steps to get you closer to a TEDx stage. We've talked about clarifying your idea. We've talked about how you position it to make it unique. We've talked about how you approach the different events, where to look and what to look for. And we also talked about the importance of committing. But you might be, and might be that you joined today because you've been wondering about speaking as a way to move your message forward, or you're here today because you wonder, are you ready for a stage? Or maybe you really want to land at the next stage, but you don't know where to start. You know what to do, or the other part is you know what to do, but you don't know how to clearly state your idea, how to move from talking about what you do to talking about what you stand for. So you're probably wondering which of these strategies can you implement right away. Maybe what has resonated with you is the process of clarifying your idea, or the steps to finding and applying to the right stages, or maybe something different. You can take these strategies and figure it out, or you can shorten the learning curve. We all have choices. We have options on where we put our attention and how we accomplish our goals. And today, I want to say that if speaking is something you know you need to do to move forward, you can either move fast or you can move slow. If landing at the TEDx or similar stage is a priority for you, then the question is, how fast do you want to make this a reality? Some of the people that answered the webinar survey answered, I asked, how fast do you want to be on a TEDx stage? And most of you answered, I want to be on a TEDx stage during the next 6 months. So if that is true, and you know you have a powerful message, you know you impact the world with your work, one client, one product, one action at a time, you know this, but maybe you're not sure how you communicate it. How do you find resonance? How do you move forward with this? Establish the credibility you need to make an impact. You need a path to clarify and put this clarity into action. TEDx speakers are not uniquely talented. They're actually just like you and I, but they're intentional, and intentional means that they put the effort in what really matters. It's all about clarity plus strategy. So now what? You have your 5 steps. Now you can go and land at TEDx, or you can get some help, save a lot of time, and create an application that will land you at TEDx stage. That is exactly what I've planned for you, because you, the change maker, the ideapreneur, need to get your idea into the world right now. So let me tell you what this looks like. I've put together this program based on the lessons I've learned working with prospect and selected speakers in the last 2 years. I've worked with these speakers and I've learned what works and what doesn't, and I've put it all together so that you don't have to make the same mistakes as many of the prospect speakers we see through the application process. I've broken down the process of clarifying, writing, and pitching so that it is not only doable and easy, it is actually a lot of fun. Together, we will clarify your idea. We will position it in a way that is unique. There are very few new ideas out there, but you are unique. How do we match your unique perspective with your idea? I will teach you the elements of a successful talk. We'll find the stories, the supporting actors that will help your idea, the main character. We will write your talk, the whole of it, and we will get it ready for the stage. We will also create the elements, the abstract, the title, the bio you need to successfully pitch your talk to curating teams, producers, and organizers. Hey, you might even shift the copy on your website and become the outline of your next book. Trust me, it happens all the time. We will also explore the role and the use of humor in your talk. How do you create a rapport with your audience? This is the work I do with my clients, and it not only helps them land and deliver TEDx, it affects how they show up in the world, how they communicate their value proposition, how they play a bigger game. Now, let me just...
Dolores is the one who helped me get clear on Activate Your Greatness. She was able to see, in helping me with my TED Talk, she was able to see the real essence of what I do. And I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you, Dolores.
I wanted you to hear right from her, one of the people I've worked with in getting ready for a TEDx stage, because in the work of clarifying her idea was sharing, Fabienne Ferrickson ended up completely rebranding her company, and she's no longer called Client Attraction. She now is called boldheart.com. So the process of clarifying and writing your TED Talk will not just impact your visibility and your credibility, it will reconnect you, rekindle that passion for the work that you're called to do in this world. I call it moving from talking about what you do to moving from talking about what you stand for. So now you may or may not be ready, but let's check in first. This program is not for everyone. This program is only for those people who are ready to take their message to the next level, for those who want to land at TEDx stage in the next 12 months. People who are ready for this program are have either published or about to publish or thinking of publishing a book and want to start moving their message forward. You're looking to bring awareness, followers, resonance for your message and your organization. And you're ready also to have fun, to play big, to challenge yourself, to stretch and to grow. This program is for those who are not afraid to dig deep and explore within, who are ready to learn and be vulnerable on stage. It's for those who are courageous enough to take action and begin the next stage of growth. If this is you, then welcome. Let me tell you. Yes. So this program is typically $797. Actually, Jessica, you can post this link on the chat. I also offer this program as a private coaching program, and that program is worth $2,500. I only take 2 clients a month on that program, so it's very, very limited availability on that program. But this program is typically $797, and I am taking off $400 from this program so that there are no excuses. This is your time to land your TEDx talk. This offer is only valid for the next 48 hours, so you want to sign up right away. I want to also tell you a little bit about how we deliver, how do we accomplish so much, and how long does it take. This program is designed to be completed in as little as 8 weeks, but I support you in the process for a whole 3 months, 12 weeks. Imagine, in less than 90 days, you can be applying to speak at TEDx events around the world. Oh, and here's the time, Jessica, that we can maybe post the special gift with the PDF of open applications that you can find around the world. By the way, this is probably worth most of the investment in the program. I update this list every other week for my clients because the hardest part of landing a TEDx stage is finding the right stage to speak at. And I've done that work for you. So here are some of the hows and the features of this program. We will meet 6 times in group coaching calls so that you can be supported and mastermind with fellow speakers, learning from each other and getting coaching from me on live Q&A calls. You'll be part of a private online group where you can run your ideas, your statements, your progress, and we can help you get fine-tune your application copy and your idea statement. I also offer you 8 weekly program modules. Actually, there's 12 right now because I added 3 bonuses, one of which is how do you make your talk viral. And these modules will walk you through the process of clarifying, crafting, finding, and pitching to speak at a TEDx event. Oh, and I almost forgot. Here are other ways I will support you. These are bonuses that will make this time for you to grow your wings. I will add unlimited email support. I'm here for you, period. A special invitation to my live events. I have 4 every year. The next one is coming up on June 2nd. And a private 30-minute call. This is only available for the first 5 participants that sign up to the program today. Jessica, please go ahead and put the link to this program, the group coaching program with a special pricing that is only available to you on the webinar today. So now I'm going to, this is the time. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? You've been chosen to bring your idea into the world. You now decide to move forward with this dream of yours. There is nothing to lose. Actually, my program is 100% guaranteed. If I'm not adding value to you, then please email me within 2 weeks and I will refund your investment. There is nothing to lose except the opportunity to save $400 and make this dream come true for you, your business, your idea, and the work you're called to do. This program begins right away, and our group calls are on the first and third Thursday of the month. Every group call is also recorded, so if you cannot attend in person, you will get the recording after the call. Now, click on the link right on your panel and commit to sharing your idea with the world. I will hold your hand through the whole process from that moment on. So now, let's open for some Q&A while many of you take a moment to sign up for this. Remember, the first 5 participants will also get a private coaching call with me where we can test your idea and go deeper in making sure that your idea is application ready. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we're going to open for Q&A. There we are. So, questions. What's coming up for you? What are you thinking? What is resonating with you from this presentation? Where are the live events? Thank you, Jean. The live events are in Massachusetts, New Bedford, Massachusetts. The next one is on June 2nd. I call them Clarity Days. It's a day that we work on clarity for your business, message, and moving your business forward. So while you start warming up your fingers and typing your questions, I'm going to start with a question that came through Facebook this morning. So someone asked, I have a great story. Is that a good talk? Now, yes, Jean, there are one-day events. So if I have a great story, is that a good talk? I mentioned earlier in the webinar that many people think that if they have a great story, then that's a great talk. Here's the thing, a great story is something that is used to bring an idea forward. The main character of your talk needs to be an idea worth sharing. That's why it's so important that you have really clarified that idea before you start building your talk. One of the things that we do with my clients is once we have the clarity of that idea, then we actually go and find and carefully select the stories that will better support that idea. Let me know if you have any more clarification on that topic. Rico, I have my talk animation. I need to know who and how to make the contacts. Okay, so Rico, the gift that you received in this webinar of the events where you apply to speak, Jessica has posted it there. If you didn't get it, ask her directly. But you need to go online and find the stages you want to speak at, and then you have to apply to speak. Now, here's the thing, Rico. Go ahead and post your idea with sharing on this chat so I can take a look at it. The thing with the application process is that it's different from other speaking events. And because curating teams get so many applications at once, it's very hard sometimes to distill to stand out from many applications that come through. So that's part of the work that I do with my clients, is helping stand out and not be one of 200, but be one of the top 10 or top 20 in the curating process. Questions, where are the events? Let me see if there's any question I missed here. So how do we meet the right people at networking events? Oh, that was your question. Okay, so here's another question that came through Facebook this morning. How different does my idea need to be? We talked a little bit about this, the part of being unique. So I had a client who came to me and said, I want to talk about getting beyond your comfort zone. And I said to her, I think that's a very important topic, but there's a lot of people out there talking about exactly that topic. So in the work that we did together, I asked that we went digging, we explored what is it about her story, and how she came to be a spokesperson for that idea that was unique to her. And through that process, we were able to position her talk in a way that got her selected. And actually, she was a speaker that ended up speaking at a TEDx event in Ohio this past Saturday. Rico, your talk, be bold, never be old. And how we have to age, but we do not have to become old in the process. Actually, Rico, check this talk, and maybe Jessica, you can find it. Her name is Dorian Mincer. She was a TEDx speaker in New Bedford 2016, and she talks about the bonus years. It might be a talk that resonates with you. That's a great topic, Rico, and there's a lot of need right now, especially with baby boomers trying to redefine themselves and how they position themselves. Mercy, what would be the criteria of what makes a good idea? Awesome. Two things, two ways to answer the question. First of all, I'm going to give you a framework that will help you state your idea worth sharing. And Jessica, please type it on the chat. The framework is 2 action, so that outcome. I always say that your idea worth sharing is a cousin of your life purpose. It's actually a tangible or actionable way of talking about your life purpose. So when you think of criteria for idea worth sharing, you have to have an idea that can be easily communicated, that is unique, and that it will allow the audience to gain a new insight or perspective or knowledge or system or habit that will make that will impact their lives in a positive way. So Mercy, if you're looking to some criteria, that's the gist of it. So here's another question that came through Facebook this morning. Can I apply to any TEDx in the world? And I actually did mention a little bit of this earlier. So I said in the presentation, always start by looking local. Well, that is true. And you also always have to start at looking at events that happen in your community, because that, as Rico was saying, you know, networking with organizers, it is a great way to land you at TEDx stage. It's also, you can also go beyond your community. I personally, in my event, we curate 50 to 60% of the speakers come from my community, and then the other 40% come from outside of my community. Because, why? Because I like to showcase those people that are doing amazing work in my community, and then I want to bring new ideas to infuse our community with new energy, new perspective, and new ways of doing work. So, well, let me just check the time. We have about 10 more minutes. So I have one more question here from my Facebook this morning. It is, should I apply or be nominated? So in the applications, and you see in the PDF that I'm offering you today, the application sometimes will ask for a speaker to be nominated, and they will not accept applications. So if that is the case, you should ask someone that knows about your work, or it's a fan of yours, or it's a client or a colleague that really can speak for you. That works really well. So whenever you can, being nominated is a great way to do it. Now, if you're able to be nominated by someone who is somehow involved or connected with the organizing team, that's even better. But that's not always an option. And many of the applications will also take people who apply themselves. So don't let the nomination aspect of an application stop you. If it requires 100% that you be nominated, then find someone to speak for you. If not, apply yourself. So the other question is, do all TEDx events are videotaped? And what are you looking to get out of a talk? So here's the thing about landing a TEDx stage. As I said before, being on a TEDx stage is about being committed to an idea and moving it forward. It's not about you, but it does help you as a messenger move your message forward. When you're applying to a TEDx and you are speaking at TEDx, one of the things you look for, and this is our gift as curators, is TEDx organizers are required to record every TEDx speaker and put it online. That's part of our commitment as an organizer. So when you're looking to speak at an event, you want to make sure that you check out their past events and see the quality of the production, because you want to make sure that you have that video, because that's your legacy. That's what, being on a TEDx stage is about. It's about those 18 minutes that day, but it's also the capacity of impact that you can have with that video over time. Mercy, will there be a replay of this webinar? Your answers were great. Yes, there will be a replay. You will get it in an email right after it. Mal, when does this course start? This course starts right away. It actually is an ongoing course. I have people enrolling every time I do one of these webinars. People enroll, and our calls are every other week. So it's the first and third Thursday of the month. So we will have a call next Thursday. So Mal, if you register right now, you will have more benefit from our next call, because you'll have the module 1 and you're able to ask me questions on that module next Thursday. Yes, as Jessica says, first lesson starts right away. And the first lesson is clarifying your idea with sharing. We have time for a few more. Let me just see who's here. Let me just call some of you by name. I have Mal, Buzz, Rico, Elisa, Jasmine. Elisa from Canada, do you have any questions? OJ. Actually, let me go to some of the questions and some of the statements you guys wrote on the survey. So I have OJ who wrote, where are you? Here you have, I have you here. You said that you're looking to build credibility and give your others ideas and create momentum to influence their future. That is a great reason to do a TEDx talk, because here's the thing. TEDx and TED have created an amazing platform for people to raise their visibility, but also gain credibility, because when you stand on a stage, it says a lot about you and your work. It says that you have committed to your life's work and that you have the courage and the determination to be on a stage in service of that idea. So OJ, I congratulate you for seeking this stage for credibility and for moving your message forward. I also have here, who do I have here? I have La Sonia. Are you in the room? Let me just check. I think she might be on recording. I also have Gordon. Gordon, if you're in the room, you talked about not being completely clear about your idea. This is the perfect program for that. A lot of my clients, actually, let me just say this. Not everybody that signs up for this program actually goes to a TEDx stage. Not everybody's looking for that. But my program is very, very, it breaks down the process of your signature talk in such a way that it makes it really easy for you to have a cornerstone idea and a cornerstone talk that you can take to any event. I've had a lot of people work on this program with me to get their keynotes delivered and prepared. So Elisa, I love the info, and at this moment I do not have any particular question. Awesome. So I'm going to start wrapping up unless someone has any other question. I want to make sure that I'm committed to keeping us on time and not taking any more time than I need to right now. So there were a few people, Gordon, La Sonia, that answered that you were not clear about your idea. And then there were others like Nina and Pamela and Marquise who know exactly what you're talking about. Both of you, if clarity is what you need, then let's get started with that. If you have clarity and you know what you're doing, then let's get started on the right language for your application so that you can stand out when applying to speak. So I want to thank you for taking time today, taking about an hour to be here with me. As you can see, I'm committed to not letting any idea stay in the stay in the drawer, stay hidden behind a computer. I'm committed to helping each one of you, each change maker, each ideapreneur, to clarify their idea and move them forward from a stage. It could be TEDx, it could be any stage. So I just want to say thank you. I want to say I really enjoy listening to your ideas and to your questions today. And I want to remind you that the first 5 that take advantage of the program, and Jessica, please, she just actually pasted the last chance to grab your course. Please take a minute and register for this program right now so I can also add the 30-minute free consultation or added bonus consultation. Just know that right now, time with me alone is about $500 an hour. So this is a great bonus to add if you are one of the top 5 that register right now. Again, the pricing to save $400 for this program will expire in 48 hours. Don't worry, I will send you some reminders, and I will also send you the replay. I will also send you the PDF of the book in case there was a glitch and you were not able to download it when you registered. And I'm going to also send you the link again for the event to speak. And OJ, will you repeat the statement with the action and the result? Okay, Jessica, can you just type it quickly? To action, so that outcome. That's the framework I use for the TEDx. And Jessica is going to type it in a minute. Actually, I'm going to type it for you right here. To action, so that outcome. I'm going to say goodbye. Have a great rest of your day. And it was my absolute pleasure to be with you today.